many different things to talk about in the process. I don't want to overlap too much with what they said, but I agree with Cassie about it starting your junior year, but I would my caveat on that would be to start your freshman year. Like, every day that you're in school, do your best. Always try to be on top of your classes. Always get help when you need it, because it adds up. Now, they do like to see improvement. Let's say if your GPA isn't what you want it to be now, they do like to see that maybe they had a hard time adjusting to college life, and then later on they figured it out. They like to see that because it shows some resilience. But like they were saying, it's really competitive. And I also want to scare you a little bit and say that don't ever think you have it in the bag. Okay, you can go to an interview and think you nailed it and get your wait list. You can have connections and, you know, like she said, she got the thing from Harvard, like some award. That definitely helps. Maybe not necessarily at that school, but maybe at other schools. So you always want to keep pushing yourself. Don't ever get too comfortable. The minute you think you have it will be the minute that some opportunity slips from underneath you. So with the scary stuff out of the way, I would like to say that I'm not here because I'm a genius. I'm not here because I'm special. My situation is a little bit different than you all. You guys are fresh out of high school. I'm a post-bac. I'm not going to say how many years I took in between getting my degree and coming back to do dentistry and doing this biology thing. Miss Banks can tell you, I would go to her office crying because I'm like, I'm going to fail everything. I do not know how to pass this class. Physics made me cry every weekend. So with that said, get your support group, because you can't waste all your time crying. You can't waste all your time giving up. You need to deal with your emotions that you have, call your support group, regroup yourself and say, what can I do different because this isn't working? And that's what they want to see. They want to see people who are determined. The research and the, what else? Your internships, doing the SMDEP programs, HPOP programs. Not only does it get you immersed in your field so you can get a sense of it, see if you really like it or not, get some experience, you'll be able to talk about it more in your interviews. Another thing that it does for you is that it shows the schools you're applying to your level of commitment. If you spend all your summers twiddling your thumbs while everybody else is out there conquering the universe, as I like to say, you can see how that puts you at less of a competitive edge. You'll be like, are they really ready? How much do they really know? How many hours shadowing do they have? Do they really want to do this? So you have to let them know that you really want to be there. Getting back to the studying, one thing that I did to help me survive, you know, undergraduate biology was I lived in the tutoring labs. I lived there. To the point where, like, while everybody was still there, because a lot of them have graduated now, they were all my friends. So now I'm connected with, like, bright people who know their thing. So if I needed help with something, all I had to do was call on the phone. I didn't have to hike my book bag and drive on campus and ask somebody what to do and sign in and all that. Like, it was to the point where I could just call and say, hey, you know what, I'm stuck on this. And they'll be like, oh, what's that? And then, you know, it helped things become a little bit more efficient. You don't have to become best friends with your tutors, but that's what happened for me. And it's to the point where now I am a tutor. I've been switching back and forth between biology and chemistry, and both classes gave me a hard time. So like I said, if you feel like certain classes are beyond you, it's not. It's about you figuring out what you need to do as an individual to learn what you need to learn to get that done. And the same thing applies for, well, I took the DAT. The same thing applies for that. And the earlier you start with that, the better. If anybody is pretty dent, I actually use the MCAT Kaplan books for the basic sciences, and particularly for the reading comp. And I like the individual subjects in the Kaplan book better than the big chunky book because it's much better organized, and their chapter summaries, I believe, are more useful. That's just a quick tip. I can get into DAT studying forever on out, but I preferred that. And interviews, go in confident. Do your best to prepare for your interviews. Go dressed well, because you do go to the interviews and you can tell the difference between the people who didn't get a class like this with professional development. They barely looked professional enough to be there, versus those of you who took the time to develop your wardrobe to come to this class and, you know, getting on that. Miss Banks shows tough love. And if you can get past that and see what she's really telling you, listen, because it all applies. The stuff that you're doing in your class, what I was saying about your application starts your freshman year. When I took her class my first semester and she told us about the personal statement, okay? I worked on my personal statement for 2 years. I kept revising it. I got input from Ms. Banks. I got input from different people I went to on the SMDEP programs. I went to the office there. I even got professional help to help me write the letter. And I finally was satisfied and had a good product to put in for my application. So another quick caveat about your personal statement is everybody does have something unique about yourself. You might think, oh, that's normal, that's not. Just ask your friends, because one thing I did for the interviews was like, one question I got kind of stumped me a little bit. So I asked my friends, like, what do you think about this in regards to me? And they gave me so many good answers. I'm like, man, I wish I had said that. You know, so ask your friends, talk to people, ask your parents, people who know you well, to give you some inspiration on what to talk about in your interviews and also for your personal statement. And I'm going to stop here for now and give David a chance to speak, because I can go.